watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 3 of the Better Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Gunn. Alongside me, as always, the Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great, doing great. That episode 3 we started just a week ago, and we're already 3 episodes in. It's pretty crazy, and it's been already a roller coaster of a season. Only 2 games in.
You know what? They weren't playing. They're gonna speed up the pace. They're gonna take more outside shots. They're gonna. It was all clicking. And full disclosure, last night I did not have as much fun as you probably did watching the game because I did not get to watch it live. I already knew what was coming when I was watching it, and it kind of just takes away from the enjoyment. When you know what's coming, I think you probably enjoyed it a lot more. But regardless, it was fun to watch. I probably stopped watching in the beginning, first couple minutes of the third quarter when I saw that it was a snooze fest second half. First half, amazing, 86 points. And I think the biggest talking point I thought was going to be Khalil Ware finally in the starting lineup. Not finally, second game. But a lot of people were saying in the comments, oh, he only got 13 minutes. What's going on? If you're not going to use him, do something. He got to start him and the spacing between him and Bam just fine. Bam from the outside, taking shots, making all his threes. It was just all clicking. Your thoughts on the starting lineup?
Well, Spo said after the game that his initial intention was to have Khalil Ware start alongside Bam, but he couldn't do it in the first game because Khalil Ware got injured at practice just before opening night. So, I was fine with that. I think Jovic had an okay first game, but I think you saw him off the bench yesterday. He was a lot better off the bench, and I like Khalil Ware in the starting lineup. I think he offers a little bit more in terms of rebounding than what Jovic offers, and he can make the three-pointer too, so he can stretch the floor and give Bam that space that he needs to operate down low. But as you saw last night, Bam looks like he added another facet to his game in the offseason, and he was 4 out of 6 on threes.
4 for 4 to start the game, which was crazy. And as you start talking about the second unit, Jaime Jaquez and the second unit with Jovic and Khalil Ware was running out there with them a lot also. I thought it was great. Jaime Jaquez had one hell of a game. It just so many good to get out of this game because it just looked like everything was clicking. And I know you're not going to shoot, what was it, like 68%? It was some crazy number in the first quarter and in the first half in general. But this is the second game now. The first game against Orlando, which is supposed to be a top defensive team, they put up, 120 some odd points, 121 points. Now they come out here and they put up 146. This team is going to be different this season. And they said it. They've said it in the past. We're going to play faster. We're going to play 5 out last year. This year, it looks 2 games in. It looks like it's for real this time.
It does. But you also have to take into account that, we shot 54% yesterday. And I don't know if that's going to happen every single night, right? You also shot 47.5% on threes, 19 of 40, almost 50%. So I don't know if this is really the Heat team that we're going to see every single night. I agree with you. I think they are going to play faster. They are going to try to get a lot more shots up. Last night they took 102 shots, Danny. 102. That's insane. So yeah, I think they are going to play faster, but I don't know if last night is indicative of what this season is going to be like, just because they were so effective in last night's game compared to what we were used to last season. That I don't know if they're going to be able to repeat that effectiveness every single night. So the nights that they do, we might get to see 140 points, 130 points. But the nights that they don't, it could be stinkers of 80, 90 points.
Well, I was scrolling to Twitter and something that nobody mentioned. They out-rebounded Memphis last night. They out-rebounded Orlando the first game. Remember, this is one of the glaring holes on this team is the lack of rebounding. They out-rebounded Memphis 57-41 on the offensive boards, 17-12. And they're not switching everything like they like to do. They're dropping a bit. And the benefit of that is when you switch, your big men a lot of times get kind of pulled away from the rim, which takes them away from the opportunity for offensive rebound or for defensive rebounds, and kind of staying away from switching everything. It helps with that aspect also. Who stood out to you the most last night?
For me, it was Jaime Jaquez Jr., right? He almost had a triple-double. He had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I thought he was fantastic leading the second unit. I thought he was really, really good in the post. I think he's developed that part of his game this season. You can see him posting up smaller players and getting that height advantage over the younger players, over the shorter players when they defend him. And for me, he was the most impressive player for the Heat last night.
I'm with you on that one. Davion Mitchell only played 20 minutes, had 7 assists in those 20 minutes. The reason I bring that up is because the game before we were giving him credit for driving and dishing, with ended up with 12 assists that game. He played a lot more than 20 minutes. Davion Mitchell is, again, we have to really like pump our brakes a little bit because we don't want to, make hyperbolic statements only 2 games into the season. But Davion Mitchell is looking really good in the point guard role. And Norman Powell, although he only scored, was it 15 points? Or he had 15 points. Very efficient, 2 for 4 from 3. He was 5 for 10 from the field, 50% shooting. Norman Powell is looking like a solid weapon also. And it's hard to judge on the totality of the minutes just because everybody played basically a half and maybe a little bit into that third quarter because this game was a foregone conclusion at the beginning of the fourth. Oh, one other person we can't forget to talk about, our boy Italy Jet, Fontecchio. The way he's just pulling up from 3, it's like somebody, I forgot who was. Somebody said that they remind them of somebody. Was it Duncan Robinson? For some reason, I think Jason Capono. I don't know why Jason Capono comes to my mind. Jason Capono wasn't Italian, but I don't know. I think Jason Capono when I see Fontecchio.
I mean, I think Fontecchio could be better than Jason Capono. I don't think
Oh no,
Fontecchio
for sure.
is just a spot up 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good defensively. He can put the ball on the floor. We saw that last night, but he's been fantastic for the Heat off the bench, and he's been better than what Duncan Robinson was offering. He doesn't just stand in the corner and wait for his shot.
Duncan had started doing a little more than that before he left.
He did, but still, I still think Simone Fontecchio is an upgrade over Duncan Robinson.
No, and I'm really enjoying him. And when I meant Capono, I meant just in the look. No, he doesn't play like Capono. Capono was nothing. But then again, that was a long time ago, right? The game was different back then for those.
He does have some sort of special aura about him that does make him look like Jason Capono. I'll put it that way. Something about his hair and his face.
Shout out to Italy Jet. Who do you think was the highest plus minus? It's my favorite stat.
I know. I read last night because I saw a tweet that Jaime Jaquez was plus 29, if I'm not mistaken.
Plus 43.
He's plus 43?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have saw the tweet at halftime.
Yeah. Well, that was ridiculous, dude. You put up, was it 44 in the first quarter? You're like, okay, well, I mean, I knew if they put 44 in the first quarter, I knew that there was another 42 coming. But I'm sure watching it live, watch them put 44, and you're like, wow, that was a great first quarter. Hopefully we can get something similar to that. They were 2 points off in the second quarter. This game was long gone by halftime. But such an impressive game to start the season. Really gets everybody excited. And, more than anything, the home opener against the Knicks is on Sunday. And if they could keep Wendell Carter off the offensive glass, they probably win that first game. And they could be going into this game 2-0 because this is a big game, right? Orlando was a good team. Memphis, probably not as good. But when you put a thrashing on them, it's still impressive. Sunday against the Knicks, I think that's the really first big test. You kind of want to see where you're at in the East. It's obvious that the Knicks are probably the best team in the East right now. Your thoughts going into the game and the fact that it's the home opener. I really hate that it's the home opener against the Knicks.
I agree, but the Knicks go into this game 2-0. They beat the Cavaliers. They beat the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look, it's gonna be a dogfight, right? It's always a dogfight when the Heat and the Knicks play. I expect the arena to be 50-50 with New York fans because now that they're good, all the New York fans are gonna come back out and buy all the Heat fans tickets and go to the game.
The only positive is that's the home opener, so more Heat fans might be willing to kind of just not sell their tickets.
Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it, man. I know my Heat fans, and I know we're into the money, including me, man. I'm selling my tickets too because I'm going on Monday. I got invited to a special event with the Miami Heat to meet the players and to meet the
Oh, nice.
coaches and stuff like that. So I asked my son, I said, what do you want to do? You want to go to the Heat Knicks game or you want to go meet the players? And he's like, no, I want to go meet the players. And I was like, perfect.
For sure.
So, and I'm not going to go to downtown back-to-back nights. That's
No.
too much to take my son. So I will join the Heat fans who are selling their tickets for the opener. If anybody that's watching this wants my tickets, write in the comments and I'll reach out to you.
Yeah. All right. And then real quick, let's in 30 seconds or less. Terry Rozier. I'll put 60 seconds on the clock. Your thoughts on Terry Rozier? The clock started.
I mean, I was completely surprised. I think the NBA and the Charlotte Hornets, Adam Silver, more specifically, really fumbled on this because they knew about this. They knew about what had happened. They cleared him. But then the FBI continued the investigation. And the fact that he's been arrested and that he's out on bail now, but that he is going to be arraigned and he will be, he'll have to testify. We don't know if he's guilty or not, but I just think the NBA really dropped the ball on it because they should have let the Heat know before they traded for him.
Before the first round pick.
Yeah, first round pick.
Well, I'm assuming that the Heat are going to end up with at least a compensation first round pick, which is crap because it's basically a second round pick. But we want our first round pick back.
I agree. I mean, come on, this guy was shaving points.
100%. All right. So, any final words there, Solano?
No, man. Just excited that the Heat are 1-1. They look really, really good these first two games this year. They look exciting. It looks like it's going to be a fun year.
Really is.
But who knows? Maybe in December we'll be talking. We'll be singing a different tune because you know how the season in December and January gets a little slow. So we'll see how these first 5, 6, 7 games go. Like you said, if they're 10-10 after the first 20 games, I'm gonna be absolutely happy. But Danny, now taking your question,
that's what I was gonna say though. We're on the.
Do you think that the way that they're playing 10-10 is the best record that they could do in the first 20 games? Because now seeing how they play, maybe 15-5, maybe 12-8.
I don't want to change that. I'm gonna keep my mind on 10-10 because if they can keep consistent and end up 10-10, the schedule kind of softens up. And I feel like if they can go 10-10 against this schedule coming up, and you got the Knicks like 3 times, you got that West Coast trip. Let's keep it at 10-10. If we can get 10-10, we're going to be top 4 in the East. And I'm saying that with my chest out. If we can go 10-10 the first 20, we're going to end up top 4 in the East. And I'm looking forward. It's going to be a fun season. If Jaime Jaquez can keep going how he's going, Norman Powell stays as efficient as he's been, and then Bam can keep contributing from the 3-point line, Khalil Ware go ahead and keep progressing in his game. This team, it's a sleeping giant. So just be careful, the Eastern Conference. If you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. YouTube, if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe. And Solano will be doing this again after the next game. So hopefully it's a dub. So until the next one, have a good one.